Well, let me get a beer. I'll be right back.
No!
Wait, oh, we need to get wine now then.
We'll talk about the current version of the story, how we'd like to change it, what we think is good with it, what we think is wrong with it. And then we can also pop in some ideas of what we have for the game for the future.
Fucking hell, man. Honestly, guys, I'm trying to be professional here.
You're doing a swell job. Hey, I'm Krystof. I'm doing the game design and some parts of the game development. And we're here today to talk about the story. Right. As for the others, right, Issy, go for it.
Hello, I'm Issy. I'm a media composer and I'm working on everything audio in this game. So sound effects and music. And I must say this is really exciting to be part of. And not totally sure what else to say because honestly, I feel like I don't have enough involvement in the development side of it to really be saying I contribute a huge amount. But like, yeah, whatever you can hear, I'll be there. I'll be making it make noises. That's
Fantastic.
me.
Thank you very much. And I think that every part of development is development, so you're very much in it.
Great.
Right. And Ruben.
Yo, what can I say? I'm Ruben. I'm the concept artist. I do everything. I visualize Krystof's ideas into, you know, things that look quite nice.
Yeah, it's not just my ideas. We collaborate sometimes.
Well, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm looking into doing also possibly texture painting as well onto the games, if Krystof allows me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, I'll just flip a coin and I'll decide.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Does that
Sorry.
does that work all right?
Fair.
Is that
that seems fair, yeah.
all right? So the current version of the story, it's slightly changed several times, but the base idea is more or less the same. And now, for those of you listening in, and if you want to actually really enjoy the story, just, you know, there might be spoilers. Like the entire story is going to be unveiled here in front of you. So, so the idea is that the idea is that you're a person, you're doing the shopping, you know, doing the groceries, and at one point you start traveling to a new dimension, right? 1,000 miles per hour, and
Love it.
and the last thing you remember is a plastic bag full of shopping, you know, and then that's like the only thought flying through your mind, like, oh my god, where did my shopping bag go? So you're flying it, yeah, Ruben.
It's kind of like Ni no Kuni. It's a JRPG game where it's like in normal life, and then he goes into a portal to some fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Ni no Kuni means 2 countries. Check it out. Level 5. Oh, wait, I'm promoting other people.
Are you promoting other people's work? Yeah? as you're flying into the other dimension, the moment you land, the first thing you see is a wizard, and this wizard tells you that he's brought you in due to important reasons. Now, those details haven't been worked out yet, and he tasks you with bringing rare ingredients for potions that he's making, and he's not giving you any choice. He basically says that if you don't do what he wants you to do, in that case, he's never going to send you back. But if you do follow suit, then he will send you back eventually.
I like it. It's got a sort of Wizard of Oz vibe. Liking it.
Right.
Yeah, it's very
5
true.
out of 5.
Yeah.
Right. So that works. And now, as you're moving through the game, you appear in his castle. He seems quite old, but he seems very skilled. And then he sends you off onto missions. And as you're going through these missions, the first half of the game, you're getting better at it, and then you keep on going through more difficult puzzles. And then eventually, around halfway through the game, he finds out that you're not the person who he wanted to get. And at that point, he just abandons you. when he does that, you lose your powers as well. But because that's not exactly fair, and you wouldn't be able to complete the game that way, the world itself starts helping you. And the world itself starts giving you clues about where you can get those powers back. And when you do, you confront the wizard. So this is the latter half of the game. And eventually you get to the wizard. You succeed in getting through all the riddles and puzzles laid out in front of you. And when you get there, when you finally finish everything, the wizard looks at you and he says, you know, I knew this would happen. And you can kill me, sure. You don't have to. But you see, what's going on here is I am you. I am you from the future. Well, kind of. Then this is the last part of the story, where basically at the end you find out that every, let's say, 130 years, you as the wizard bring in the past you from the world. And that past you, when they finish all the puzzles and the riddles and the platforming, they replace you. And you go to God knows where. And when they replace you 130 years later, they do the same thing. It's a repeating cycle. Right, I think that about does it. That sums it up. Right? You get thrown into a world you don't know. A wizard tells you to do shit. Then the wizard tells you that he actually didn't want to bring you in, but someone else, for the purpose of, let's say, revenge. And then you want to execute your own revenge on him. And when you do, you find out he's you. And that this is a ritual that happens every 130 years.
Is that number random? Is that...
No, I calculated it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the person is 20 years old when they are transported to the world. And then when they are 110, that's when they have to bring themselves in from the past or from the future.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's
a constant cycle then.
Yeah. It's a constant cycle. And so, and it basically works in a way that they can't stop it. If they try to stop it, their hand does their own thing anyway.
Wait, what? Please write that down. That's really good. I like that. It sounds just sort of Terry Pratchett. Sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Wait.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. Wait.
I'm
actually taking notes, so yeah. Oh shit, I'm muted. All right, yeah, I'm back.
He's a professional man. What I was gonna say is, so you're trying to escape from the world back to your world.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So why are you coming back? At one point, you'll be coming back, right? As the wizard.
Well, you will not be coming back to your world as the wizard, because the moment that so the end of the ritual, right, is that you replace the wizard, you get all of his magical powers, you get everything that he had, and he fucks off to God knows where.
Oh, so the wizard's not you?
No, the wizard is you, but he leaves.
Oh my god.
So he leaves and you're there in his place.
Self leaves.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And you stay because you are part of that ritual, and you have to stay there for 110 years, specifically 110.
Okay. But only then you realize that at the end you realize that the wizard's being you all the time, right?
Yes, exactly.
He needs to feel like really sad and lonely though. He needs, because like he's been there for 110 years.
Well, I mean,
some platforming skyline.
You've been doing nothing but just jumping on colours, right?
Some sort of like sadness.
Oh shit! Yeah, this would be so good to put in to incorporate into the story, because we want to do voiceovers, right? We want to do voiceovers of the wizard, and so having the wizard make remarks in regards to the colours of sort of. Yeah, you go play with the red colours. I've done that enough many times.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, saying how many times it's done it. And,
oh yeah. Like
how long's he been there? Like emphasizing that. I like that.
And there can be very specific details as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't step on the third tile of the second row in the second island.
Yes. And then it could be like an impossible thing that you can't do. Like, and it's actually telling you to do it.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe bluffing it or something.
Oh yeah, imagine that. Imagine if the very last tile of the game, the very last platform, had his footstep on it, his footprint, and it was known that that was the only time ever anyone got to that platform. You know, so it's like
nice.
super unique.
Yeah. That's actually good. Yeah, like out of the thousands or whatever, how long it's been going on for the trials.
Yeah.
That's the only time. Yeah,
right.
That's good.
Right. And check this out. So if this works the way it works, the second iteration of the game could be Blind Faith Reunion. Imagine that it's been going on for 10,000 years, and all these wizards have been fucking up to God knows where, and then they all, and then you play as one of them, and you go there as well, and that's just, you know, like an island, a massive floating island just full of you.
That's where we do the battle royale, Blind Faith.
Yeah. And you don't even need other models, right? Everything's just the same mesh.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, all of those wizards would be like parts of the same person.
Yes. It's not. It's not strictly time traveling, is it? It's like.
No.
Yeah, good. It's like it's taking someone from a different timeline, from a universe, bringing them into your timeline, right? And then that person brings another person, but not from the same timeline, from a different timeline. Or, no, from the same timeline, but in a different universe where that person still exists. No, it's still a different timeline. Yeah, different timeline, different universe, but the same person. So, yeah.
That's intense. That's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. I think it will give the player something to think about. Right? So, like, how? At least for a moment.
I think for more than a moment, it's gonna be a bit of a mind fuck, I think, isn't it? What's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I really like the idea of the wizard being sad and lonely.
I don't know. I think he should be kind of a bit bipolar. I think he should be kind of like he's slightly traumatized from the experience, and he's kind of got a little bit senile. I think that's an interesting character to bring into a video game because I haven't seen that much. And ironically, I do relate this slightly to like looking at my father now, like as a kind of potential wizard. In that, like, you know, older people, like they see the world in a very different way. Like it used to be one way, now it's another way. And like maybe like incorporating that into the game would be a really interesting thing where like he's fine sometimes he's super nostalgic, and then other times he's kind of like, this isn't how it used to be, and like there's you and there's me, and like look how far we've come. And so I'm not sure how you could really impart that into the expression of the world, but I think that will be an interesting way to make the wizard's personality much more multifaceted, and therefore much more kind of like it could actually be you, but kind of a part of you that you don't really understand that well. Yeah.
No, I can really imagine that being the case. Imagine, for example, the wizard being all, high-spirited and joking around, and then at one point he just looks at the platforms, and you can see a tear coming down, running down his cheek.
Yeah. This kind of complex kind of...
Yeah.
Where he doesn't know how to feel about it anymore. That's a really interesting thing to bring in.
Yeah, because when you think about the history, like Ruben said, he must have gone through some serious loneliness and depression even. But usually the best way to deal with it, if it doesn't break you, is humor. Right? That's one of the most powerful things to use if you are in that state. So it could very well be that on the one hand he's got that pessimism and he's got the loneliness and sadness, but on the other hand he can be quite funny, and all of that mixes in with his wisdom because he's old, right? So he's wise at the same time, and he's lived through a lot. He's been doing hopscotches for a long time. Right. Yeah. So Are there any parts of the story that, from what we've talked about here, that you'd change or you would add, you'd remove? Anything that comes to mind? And I mean, you've already given some input. That's wonderful. Thank you for that.
No worries. I mean, if I would say anything, it would be just that we need to make it we need to really make the whole thing of being in different dimensions and multiple wizards being part of the same person, like, very clear when we do express it. And also to make everything leading up to that kind of make sense. Like, having a really good aha kind of moment, I think, would be something that will become really well respected, and a really good thing about the game, that, you know, for this kind of smaller game, the same way, for example, that maybe, I don't know if you've played much of Undertale, but for me, that was a game where I was like, oh wow, all these kind of strings all come together into one, like, little bundle kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be really, really, like, meticulously done necessarily, but to be done nonetheless with some level of sophistication would be really good.
Yeah. And
to make that digestible for the player, not too like, whoa, what is this? But at the same time, impressive enough, that kind of good median kind of zone.
Definitely. That sort of enjoyable depth, right? Like some real depth to the story, so that, you know, it's not just been a text that's been slapped onto the game, but it's been something that's been worked on and created and iterated on, and it's been interweaved into the fibers.
To the game very much.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of you know, showing his funny side and then sad side, I had this idea that we could make the wizard dab.
Would he do a spell when he dabbed? Like a dab spell?
What would he do?
Oh yeah! Imagine that.
That'd be really good.
That's great. That's great.
Well, like, every
comes
time
out.
he went away on his broomstick, he'd be like, oh. Well, that came to Ruben as well. Just, like, the way he changed direction, he'd have to dab.
Oh no!
Change
Yeah.
direction.
Imagine him flying by you, right? And he's just like
Yeah,
on his broomstick.
that would be great.
That's the only way you can go. Like, you can move on his broomstick. You have to be in that position.
And he was like, I've realised after all these years, the fastest and most reliable form of transportation is to dab my way across the world. It's like,
That's the thing. And then
far more reliable.
and
just
then
going
at the end of the
across
game, when you get all of his powers, you jump onto the broomstick and you're like, finally I can fly on this thing. Okay, go. And it's not moving, right? And you go, ah, crap. Okay, let me just, I'll if I have to.
Yeah, then you have to dab, yeah.
That'd be really good.
God, fuck it, go on then.
Yeah.
And then he just goes off to a distance in the horizon at the end.
Oh yeah, accidentally. Oh shit, this is great. Accidentally, he breaks the tradition. Because accidentally, by dabbing in an awkward moment, right, he catches up with the other wizard, and he follows him to the place where only the wizards that have finished the ritual should go. And the end of the game, is the other wizard going, "Oh, wait a second, you shouldn't be here." That'd be great. You're dabbing too well.
I was thinking, maybe it also, like, this would sound really funny, but when he becomes, like, when he gets to realize he's the wizard, immediately he just grows a beard. like what is it, Santa Claus, the film?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Have you seen it? But I was thinking something else, actually. Maybe at the end of the game, if you can make a small little animation where you're in the first person view of the wizard. Well, and then a portal of, you know, technically redoing the beginning scene.
Ah, right. So
that would be a really cool way of recognizing that you're that you was.
This can be done in so many ways. Yeah, because this could be sort of like at the last moment. It could send you back to a cutscene at the beginning, right? And it's sort of like this is second person, isn't it? Imagine that you'd be looking through the eyes of the third person wizard at yourself, who is the first person.
Oh God.
Man, you're tripping me over, man.
You know what? I think Krystof actually mentioned, we were talking about second person shooters, and Krystof mentioned second person shooters to me. And I watched the video of that game where at the end of the game, you're chasing yourself.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to have in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, but the instant moment of growing beard, it's similar to I had a dream once, and I dreamed of sneezing so hard that all my hair fell out. Just sort of going like, and I woke up laughing because of the dream. Right, it was beautiful. So that thought has never left my mind since. This could be something similar, you know, sort of like I don't know, you cough or you chuckle. Oh yeah, he sneezes his beard out. Yeah. No, and I really like the dynamic of the wizard that we have going, also from the visual perspective, right? Because the wizard, he's stylized. He's got he's not wearing shoes. That instantly puts him in the category of wizards we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
It could be like halfway through the game, the player loses his shoes.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh, sick! Nice one. This is it. Yeah.
And now you can finally see that we're basically in the same room. I'm hoping this mic isn't bleeding into the other mic, is it? But yeah.
Nice.
It's fine.
It's all good, isn't it? Okay, good. Hopefully.
Yeah, and when you lose your shoes, you just see shoes on the floor, right? And then the wizard is flying by and says, "Oh, already?" and just leaves. To sort of put questions in your mind as the player, as to try to figure it out, right?
Get little hints like, yo, we're onto something.
This is it. This is it. Yeah,
we're onto something.
And it's these little touches, because you don't need. I don't think you need.
I'm gonna give a bit of wine to Issy.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because to celebrate that we're onto something.
Absolutely.
Here you go. So, quick delivery. That was like Amazon speed delivery, and back to me.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa.
What just happened?
That's what our game can do for you.
Yeah, that's magic right there.
Yeah. You know,
that was.
They couldn't do this before they became part of Blind Faith.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely just,
You gain unnatural magical powers when you're part of
and the natural magical powers, not natural not the normal sword. This is the weird
natural
sword.
magical powers are like druid powers. Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah.
We can control trees and bushes and stuff.
Bushes.
Unnatural.
What did you do with bushes as a druid?
Yeah.
Like, did you?
You could, I don't know.
bush or something. I don't know.
Instead
of bush fire. For lols.
That's too good. I would do anything to have those magical powers. Nice. No, I love this. Yeah. So this dynamic of the wizard, where he looks different, and that's going to allow us to tell the story of you becoming the wizard bit by bit. If we eventually have a player model with his sleeves not rolled up, maybe one of them rolls up at one point, and you're like, oh my god, why did I do that? And you hear the chuckle of the wizard in the distance. That could be great. Yeah, and again, Ruben, great work on the wizard. I even these days, when I've seen it so many times already, but when I look at it, it looks great.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. So after this conversation, I guess you'll need to draw him dabbing, like
Yeah.
Dab wizard. I could do it. On a broomstick. How would the wizard? I don't know if this is a relevant place to talk, but you can always cut it out anyway. How would the wizard flying on his broomstick. Because that's what I was thinking. Is he standing on the thing?
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
he
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
He's going to stand on the broomstick like a surfboard sort of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like a surfboard.
Yes, and
Okay.
wait a second. Flies on the broomstick. Let me just write this down. Right, and there's another really cool thing. This is where we can put the humor and the sadness in as well. There's a Slovak joke where tourists from the Czech Republic come to Slovakia and they come to a village, and they're saying, "Listen, guys, we heard that you have a person here that's got magical powers. Can you tell us where he lives?" And they go, yeah, sure, just go up the mountain. So they go up the mountain, they climb the mountain, and there's a cliff there, and a massive tree. And the tree is right at the cliff, so the roots are growing out the cliff. And on one of the roots, there's a person hanging on by one hand, right? Just like this, reading a book at the same time. So the wizard could be traveling like this as well, right? Because he you know
holding it.
Yeah, holding it.
I like
holding
that.
it above,
I
right?
like that more.
Right, and just sort of reading his magical book here.
Yeah.
Like that.
I really like
like
that.
a mute or something. That'd be quite funny.
Right, and then
That's cool.
And then
Just-
yeah, exactly. So it's so effortless. Like I'm going to do everything I can in a different way. Right, everything that wizards have done through millennia, I'm just going to change those rules. So yeah, and then
carefree wizard.
yeah, and then in the joke, the people come to the cliff, they crawl up to the edge and they look at the wizard and they go, "Yo, we heard you've got magical powers," and the person there says, so he goes like this, "Bullshit." so I think that's something that we could incorporate into the wizard, really. So like, you know.
Yeah, just denying like how like he's got some insane fucking weird power, but he doesn't even like acknowledge it or something.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So sort of really not showing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes down to it, I suppose you don't even need to see the wizard casting any spells, because it'll be so evident he's powerful. But no.
You can say how powerful he is.
Oh yeah, imagine that he's talking about how powerful.
There's no evidence. He just talks to you how fucking powerful. Oh, I am fucking powerful. I am. Watch when I do that powerful stuff. Yeah, you know, power.
Yeah. And you know, he's saying that while hanging onto his broomstick, flying by like powerful wizard. I am. Yeah.
and then his broomstick goes wild and he just like fucks off anywhere. It's like it's uncontrollable. The broomstick's got a mind of its own, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Do you know what else I like? A good animation like would be nice. If he's like just standing there, like as an idle animation, he's just standing there on the ground. Oh yeah, on the normal ground. So, and then the broomstick is sweeping besides him automatically.
Yeah.
Like by itself.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice animation.
There'll be a lot
Very
of
Disney.
fun with the animations, because you'll have the broomstick and there'll be idle moments, there'll be walking movements and flying movements. And then there's a combination of a lot of things, because you've got the wizard, you've got the staff. The staff's got the gemstone, and there's the broomstick. So there's quite a lot of components here, right?
Yeah.
And both the staff and the broomstick can either have a mind of their own. I like the idea of the broomstick having a mind of their own, because it's quite iconic, isn't it? And they can also be controlled by the wizard remotely.
Yeah.
So they can be both animations, but they can also be procedural animations done by the physics engine. So that's going to be quite exciting.
I was actually thinking, this whole business of the broomsticks, I was like, there's the staff, which is obviously magical, and there's the broomstick. But I was thinking, the fact that the player comes into the game from like doing shopping and stuff, what if this broomstick actually came from that supermarket? And like, that's that piece that like is from the other world, and you're like, why does it look like a bit familiar? It doesn't look as magical as I would think, but the staff is clearly magical. But then broomstick, first it has to mind its own half the time, and secondly, it's strangely familiar. But like, obviously not too familiar, but like, you know.
It's a bit too obvious, I think, at the same time.
So how come it didn't come through when you were teleported?
Or maybe we come through with something else then. I don't know, like you went and bought this particular broomstick and then that happened to come through and then like... We could see, oh my god, this reminds me of...
Oh, no, oh, wait. The broomstick is the mastermind behind the entire thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that's another option. That's an interesting one. Yeah. Like, it's just controlling, it just has victims.
Yeah,
and
that's actually good.
And, like, finds victims to continue its thing.
The broomstick's been passed on from wizard to wizard. Yeah. And it's actually created this whole thing. So,
absolutely,
yeah, that's
absolutely. Yeah. And you
So,
think it's all about the wizards, but it's all about...
Huh?
Yeah.
Blind Sweep?
Title for the game.
Blind Sweep.
No. So add some bed knobs and broomsticks.
Bed knobs
is that
broomsticks.
Is that the title of it?
The film, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an English
film.
film. If you watch it,
it's really fun. Yeah, it's really good.
No, let's try it. But something broomsticky related, or maybe or something. And then the logo can have a broomstick. I don't know, whatever.
But Blind Faith sort of already works with it, doesn't it? Because
Blind Faith is good.
Because you've got this faith in something, but it's blind. You're not seeing what you should be seeing.
Yeah,
it's got that
I have
twist.
To have faith in. Yeah, no, I like it. Because you're being told by the world. Well, you're getting help from the world. Is that the point?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The wizard's never going to help you, or he does.
Oh no, he does. He guides you. But the more we talk about it, the more it sounds like he's actually the victim of the thing, isn't he?
Yeah,
right. Because the broomstick is the mastermind. The world is helping you because the world wants you to finally put an end to this weird tradition that the broomstick has created for a random person it brought in from a different world. And but there's another. Yeah, go on.
That's going to spawn a lot of other more in-depth story, though. So it depends on how much story you want to put into it, or like maybe you can hide it.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah.
Because like people be like, so what the fuck's the broomstick? And then you can think, is it like some sort of evil sorcerer from 10,000 years ago that went back to life in a broomstick form? You know what I mean?
Oh wait! Imagine if you made this into the most egotistical game of the century, and the broomstick was also you.
Yeah.
but the broomstick is the first you. Right? The very first one.
The first round. Like, first round you did it. Yeah. Fucking hell, man. And then, wait.
No, this... Okay.
Then you realize... Somehow, right? Then you're like, I want to go back home because I want to go back to my parents. Then you realize, you have a photo, a family photo, you look at it, and then you realize all your family was you.
Your mother, your sister.
You are.
Your daughter looked like you. Your son looked like you.
Oh my god, that's why everyone looks familiar. Everyone is you.
All right, wait, but this actually makes sense. If the broomstick was the first wizard, imagine this. So what actually happened was that there was a random person, and they went shopping, and right after doing their shopping, they go outside, and on their way home, they meet a random stranger that gives them a magical book. They open it up. The first thing that the magical book does is that it teleports them to another dimension. Right? Now, what they find out through that book as well is that this is going to happen, let's say, 100 more times, because there are 100 more versions of him in the universe, and the magical power is going to be split evenly amongst all of them. So this cunt of a wizard is going to bring them all in, kill them, so that he gets all the power.
Wow.
And you're the last one.
It's really dark now.
Oh yeah, that just took a very dark turn, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how dark we can make it. It's like,
I mean, it looks very colourful, so I suppose it wouldn't
yeah,
really work.
yeah. And then some dark fucking fucked
Yeah,
up
no, it's a
thing.
nice juxtaposition. I kind of like it.
All right.
Well, about the magical book thing.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of you're going casually shopping in a sort of like modern our society type of world, and then you get transported to this skyland, some sort of like fantasy sky world. But I'm not a huge fan on the sort of magical book thing. It's a bit too obvious. I'd rather, in my opinion, I'd like something like it's an accident happened and he didn't know how he got transported. And then that will give you some room to tell you the story behind that throughout the journey of traveling through platforms. Because the more story you can say while traveling through the platforms, the better.
And there's also more mystery, isn't there? Right?
Yeah, exactly. More mystery is better.
Yeah,
the wizard's weird as hell, so you want to like hide spread the story, spread the mystery throughout the game. Also, I feel like this game shouldn't hold you and like force you to like stay in an area while someone's telling you a story.
Absolutely.
Maybe the beginning and the end, but that's it. The beginning and the end, but nowhere else. Like it should just tell you the story while you're going through platforms.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was playing a bit of Diablo, and I love how they still tell the story there, because they do like these cutscenes and stuff. But while you're playing the actual game, there's like voiceovers like explaining the lore and everything while you're just going smashing shit up and playing the game normally. And I really like that. There's no pause or anything. You can still listen to the story, but you can still play the game.
And it gets really annoying if you have a lot of cutscenes. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're forced to be looking at an object and listening to an object, you're not going to want to do that.
Like it'll work in Elder Scrolls Online, like because it's an RPG and it's very lore intensive. So that kind of works, but not this. You want to kind of just get into the platform jumping and like jump, like Super Mario time.
And like keeping that sort of momentum, I think, is a really important thing with the game. Keep it rolling, because it should be calm, but kind of like cruising kind of thing. A feeling that you're cruising through the game.
Absolutely. And bit by bit, you find out about various pieces of the story, and you've got the wizard flying by, saying something, and that something is going to be a key component of what's going on. But sometimes it'll put more questions into your mind rather than answers. But you'll be getting to the answers as you progress through the game as well.
Yeah. And if anything, maybe put a log down that's optional to retrace if you care about the story. So, that's a great idea. Because it would be really annoying if he's like, did you know that this land was created 1,000 years ago? Then you die, and did you know this land was created 1,000 years ago? Then you die. It just keeps them whatever. Like it says the story all the time. Like shut up. I've heard that story. Just let it be. Maybe once.
No,
maybe
definitely.
And keep that
once is enough. If you've got the log, just once is enough. And it would be also really good. Imagine if there was no log, right? And then what happens is that in one of the conversations he says, "Okay, so let us continue from the conversation we had yesterday." And you no longer remember what happened yesterday because you spent hours doing some platforming.
Oh yeah.
and he says things that are very much connected, right? So he, for example, says, "Okay, so you've got to take the path which I mentioned yesterday. You've got to go in the direction which I mentioned yesterday." I think the log is going to be great.
Is this real life yesterday, or is he just saying that?
No, this is like the game time yesterday.
The game time yesterday. Okay,
yeah.
It would be amazing if you got a timer on it. And
tell you. Imagine. The last time you played our little game.
Yeah. So what happened, mate? Come back.
Oh yeah.
And then like you put like malware. You put malware on the actual operating.
Oh wow!
to tell people like come play the game. This you have to cut off.
Oh yeah,
I
mean, basically we're talking about mobile phone notifications now, aren't we?
Yeah, that's literally like just bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
it's.
You haven't played Cindy's Candy Fashion World in 3 days. Come collect your gems.
Oh yeah,
shut up. Cindy's Fashion World.
Or when you're playing a game with energy, and I don't know, 2 hours later you get a notification saying your energy is back. Come play the game again.
Really? No, I had full energy like a couple hours ago. I'm tired now. You know what you should do? Right at the end, when the wizard tells you everything, a pop-up screen comes up and goes, "Pay more!" Like, like you're tired now. Wait for 4 hours, or buy some gems.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, it becomes a mobile game.
I mean, there's a lot of potential there, but all right. There's one more thing before we move on from the story. I think we've quite dissected that, and I think we took it a step further than it was before. It's
definitely way beyond.
Way beyond the horizon. It is at the very beginning, right? So let's say that the current idea is that you're just shopping, and out of nowhere, you get dragged out of your flip-flops and thrown into a new world. Wait, no, you can't get dragged out of them because you've got to lose them halfway through the game. So no. Yeah. You get to keep your flip-flops, but you're doing your platforming in the flip-flops anyway. What was it? Oh yeah, I know. So do you want it to be that, or there's an idea that you die? There's a lot of reincarnation stories out there, and this would be one of those. So it's sort of like when you die, you go into. But to be honest, now when I'm saying it, I don't feel like it holds that much added value. I think what it was already quite well. It sort of fit into itself as a puzzle.
Yeah, I feel like the death thing maybe not.
It's not death, and another option is like a coma of sorts. Even then, it's like, what is the serious significance of that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to put something weird in there, imagine if it was a really weird death, like this person died because he laughed too hard at a guy he was bullying. Like, that'd be a very weird death. But yeah, no. I think, yeah. Although I did come up with the proposition, now when I'm saying it, I actually prefer the previous version. So yeah. All right. And now additionally, so we've got the story down, and then here's the idea that we had, which was that when you're doing the platforming in new levels, so that we make it less look like levels, the main place is the world of the wizard, and that world works like a hub world.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So
idea.
as you're unlocking new worlds or unlocking new paths, new platforming levels, they all seem like they're connected to the wizard's castle. Yeah. I think we're on the same page with this one.
Yeah, no, I like that as the structure of the game. That's very good. Very good, yeah.
Nice.
But a good question is, are there sets of a set amount of levels, like a set of 5, and then you got an option to go to any 5, or is it like you just go to 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because you probably want to have the option of sort of re-experiencing a really good level.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I see your question. Sort of like, imagine that you finish the 3rd level, and then 3 more open up at the same time, right? And you can choose.
Yeah.
Now, I can see that this would be sort of doable if there's enough content. If we can create 3 parts of the story, which can be told, but they don't necessarily need to relate to one another. But
exactly.
But each push you a little bit further, and then at the end you just have more information about the story. So there could be it could be done like that. I imagine that's very possible.
And it could also just be like fillers. So think of it like an anime, and one of the levels, it's the wizard telling things that you don't really need to know in order.
But this could also be done through bonus levels. Imagine that.
True, yeah.
So instead of unlocking official story levels, you're unlocking a new level, but you also unlock 2 previous bonus levels, or not previous bonus, but new bonus levels on the other side, which don't exactly tell a story, but they propose a challenge.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking, right? I was toying with this idea. First of all, people love level editors. Imagine if you could create your own platforming level and then share it online. That'd be great.
That'd be a really good idea. Yeah.
But sort of
extra content.
Yeah. And plus, with the amount of creativity that the players of Blind Faith will be able to put into the platforming, because there's a lot of platforming here, right? There's a massive amount of possibilities of what you can do in the game. With the way we have set it up so far. But another thing was, to allow for more replayability, we could have one special kind of a level, which would be procedurally generated. So,
okay, yeah.
So imagine that
like
in the hub world, you've got story levels, you've got bonus levels, and you've got one pure madness level.
Yeah.
And it's just, and that's procedurally generated.
I like that, yeah. It's good, yeah. It'll add so much replayability as well, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Pretty good.
Nice.
Kind of like, what is it? Well, a lot of the roguelikes. Are they called roguelikes?
Yeah, they are. Oh yeah. This is great. Do you guys know the difference between roguelike and roguelite?
No. Talk.
So, it's all about permadeath.
Okay.
Right? So it's all about procedural generation and permadeath. But the difference between roguelike and roguelite is roguelike is permadeath, and there is nothing that's linking one game session, one play session from the other play session, right?
Okay.
Roguelite means that in the game you can collect special coins, which then you can invest upon your death.
Yeah. I like roguelite, to be honest.
Yeah.
Roguelike things is a bit too... Okay, it's good if it's for like quick sessions, but roguelite is... I like the progression.
Exactly. I think the progression gives more replayability. You can really easily come back to it and just sort of get... and you sort of go, right, if I play a little bit more of this, I'll be stronger the next time I play it.
Exactly. So you feel the player has some sort of worth for like wasting his time, sort of thing. But in roguelike, if you die, you're like, oh, fucking hell, I've wasted my time. I haven't even like progressed with the characters.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Also, Issy, I haven't tried the latest sounds in the game. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I'll be doing that tomorrow, so I'll let you know how they sound, and I'll also record a video for you, and I'll record a video for you of all the different sounds. And I think what I would like to agree with you on is I'll just give you the final word. Which one you like best, right? Because I know so little about music. I mean,
that's equally relevant, I think, because if I can communicate something to you and you can understand it without any kind of extra contextual knowledge, then I'm doing my job.
No, that yes, but for example, here's the thing. For example, if I feel like this sound wouldn't work over, let's say, a week's worth of playtime, right? Imagine you're playing a game for a week, and this sound will get too repetitive. That's like a thing that I have about music. I don't know if I can be sure about saying that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's more like, well, yeah, trying it in game and having it there and finding out whether it's a moment. I mean, I have the same thing in real life for like choosing my alarm. I'll try and choose something that doesn't drive me mad.
I've got the same thing for my alarm as well.
Yeah, I think we all have like times in our life where, like, including when we play games, where we need to like just keep testing it and work out whether it actually does annoy us.
Okay.
But I mean, I can always put myself in a really irritable mood and listen to it and see how quickly I get annoyed, and that could be a test.
I think that's a great test. Yeah. Excellent. So I'll send you videos of me clicking it 100 times a second.
Yes, yes.
Great.
Play it to me at like 3 in the morning,
Lovely.
like when
Lovely.
I'm hungry. I'm really
Oh
tired.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. When you're about to eat, right? You will be about to eat the best food of your life, and I'll take that dish away and put that sound in front of you.
Yeah, and if I still like it, we'll put it in the game. Easy.
Oh, nice.
Dong, dong. Put the Windows error sound every time you change the color.
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah.
is it?
Just
Dong,
everything,
dong, dong, dong.
I think we've got a plan here. Oh yeah, and Ruben, so you've got the staff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the staff is done, right?
awesome, awesome.
Yeah, it looks great, by the way. That's fantastic. And so next is either the broomstick or platforms. Platforms
Oh,
are...
I just want to jump onto the platform.
Yeah, just do the platforms. No,
Literally, you want to jump onto the platform.
no, Ruben,
Hey,
seriously.
get it,
Yeah.
get it.
That's a good one.
Yo, put that onto the recording.
I just want to jump onto the
I
platform.
just wanted to jump onto the platform.
You just want to jump onto the platforms. Did I hear you right? yeah. No, it will be there. Yeah. Yeah, no,
I'll
just
do
do the
broomstick
platforms.
as well.
No,
I'll throw in broomstick
don't do
at
the
one point.
broomstick, because the broomstick is just going to be the staff, but sort of shaved off, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I'll just stick the. I'll just remove
Do it
the.
upside down.
Yeah.
Like, things about.
Oh, brilliant! You know, so there we go.
It will still work. Actually, it would actually work.
Yeah, I mean, okay, wait, check this out. What if there was no broomstick?
Oh, so if he travelled by staff.
What if he was holding onto his staff and flying
Ah.
on the staff?
It's a bit kind of like regular for
Broomstick.
him to have a broomstick. Like, I think it makes him a bit more kind of witchy. Does he really need a broomstick?
Broomsticks are very witchy.
Like, it's also very
They are,
stereotypical.
they
I thought
are.
this guy is trying to defy stereotype anyway. So he could actually just be like, I don't know, like being like, what did you think I would have? A broomstick? Like, do you think I'm stereotypical? Like, I use that for cleaning, you know.
She's got a
I'm a
point.
wizard doesn't mean
That
I'm gonna
is a
have
nice.
broomstick,
That is a
okay?
nice little witty
Yeah,
thing to do.
yeah.
What did you want me to have? A
Honestly-
black cat, an owl, and a broomstick? Like, okay.
Absolutely.
Honestly, we need
yeah.
to like
You haven't met any real wizards.
Krystof.
Yeah.
Are you going to be doing the writing?
No, mainly Kyle is going to be doing the writing.
I'm going to say, okay. Well, it's okay who it is, but please tell him to kind of do it in a style of Terry Pratchett. I know you can't do it as well as the master himself, but like in the style of sort of like the wit, the humor.
Absolutely.
I think it would be
Absolutely.
perfect for this type
Yeah,
of game.
and not just Terry Pratchett, actually. If you could, I don't know whether you agree, but if you could give him a hint of Blackadder. I think it would be quite good. Have you seen
I like
Blackadder?
No.
Okay, well, there's a lot of sarcasm, and I think that would be very appropriate for this. And if, you know...
Explain.
you
It's an
have
I
English
like that.
comedy.
I like that.
It's
Yeah,
an English-
oh god, Blackadder. Yeah, it's an English comedy about... It goes through 4 different periods in history, and it's got Rowan Atkinson playing this guy called Lord Blackadder, and he's like an English noble, and he's got his little servant called Baldric. And the whole, like, thing with him is he's, like, basically making money out of everyone and being really sarcastic and getting whatever he wants to get and controlling powerful people. But yeah, he's known for his really great sarcastic one-liners or just putting people down, and that's his character. Because it's funny because people think Rowan Atkinson is Mr. Bean, but he's got his complete opposite character, which is Lord Blackadder, who's just super eloquent, super witty, and like
Nice.
really sarcastic.
Nice. Yeah, no,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's
Funny.
that would be great to have in the writing. It would be. Yeah, and I
What was
mean, maybe what we could do is we could do a write-up of, let's say, the first section of the game. Take a look at the text and see if the style is what we imagine for the story. And if not, we can do another, or Kyle will do another.
Take.
Yeah, another one.
I like that. Yeah.
I think I can.
That'd be good. Like. Yeah. Like if but the player, you don't say things in it.
No.
You're silent. Okay. I like that idea. I'm just trying to think. How would he go? What you think I will have a broom? He could just say it. Like think of
Yeah, you
it.
could
Absolutely.
Also write it as rhetorical questions, like he actually knows what you're thinking.
Yeah, what you're saying.
Yeah.
He is you.
Yeah.
So it should be the kind of like, smart responses where he's like, I already thought what you were going to say anyway. So
Like,
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah.
in like Zelda or something, because the character Link doesn't say anything, but I know a lot of the times when you talk to NPCs, they're always like, they just say things like, you're looking at me in a sort of
Yeah,
blah blah blah
yeah,
type of way, and
they put your thoughts in your mind, right? They sort of-
Yeah.
It makes you
And they
think that
also-
you're thinking that.
Yeah. And it also makes you more aware of the fact that you're making an impact in a game, and like other characters are getting an impression of you that you can't necessarily control.
Yes.
You're just a certain
Yes.
way, and you're doing certain things, and you're like, oh, so where am I in this particular situation? And that makes it kind of more immersive as well.
No, great, yeah. What is it that you like the most and that you like the least?
I think I like the art the most, and the sound the least.
And Issy likes the sound the most and the art the least.
Of course, yeah.
What do I like? I like the color palettes that we've got currently, the visuals, and the sort of like theme that it's got around it. Sort of especially the dual world time traveling aspect of this game is what I really like. So like the theme, general world. What I'm liking about it. Yeah.
And what do you like the least?
The least.
The silence is very good.
I mean, there must be something really bad about the thing.
I'm trying to think something that's really bad. Yeah, I was going to say that. I was like, I want more. I'm really trying to find something that I don't like.
Or maybe there's so much you don't like, you're trying to choose. You're like, okay, no.
Which one do I out of all the many?
It's just a fucking mess, God.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a good question. Wait, let me. That's not really. I'm going to say there's not many characters, but that's not really a fault. That's kind of a better thing.
No, I mean, it's a development limitation that we have.
Yeah,
right?
no, I know.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
I mean that's
want
completely valid because
it is.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying that.
Because if there was if there was a bigger team making this, we could have more characters. The thing is, we're limited by resources and our skill sets as well. You know, there's so much that can go into this project.
Maybe the difficulty. Well, it's not really. This is weird. It's not really a.
Are you talking about the hardest puzzle?
The difficulty of level designing this game, maybe. But that's not really a dislike. It's not really a full dislike that I can think of. Like
no, I see. It's like a challenge that you foresee, right? That's like a Yeah. Oh no worries. But yeah, like you said, the fact that we have so few characters, that's valid. I would be happy with more characters, but at the same time, I see sort of the lack of characters is a bit of a pity. But at the same time, I see that it can give more depth to the story because you're forced to be concentrating on just
one
two
character
things.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just yourself and the character. So yeah, but yeah. Right.
Shit, I can't even answer that. Sorry. Maybe Izzy can answer that.
Yeah, Izzy, what do you hate about the game?
I like how you start with that. Okay. I mean, hate is a strong word, and I don't think I could hate anything about the game and still do it. So I'd say, relatively speaking, maybe because the story is less developed at the moment, I'm kind of a bit more apprehensive about it. Sorry, the mic on. It's probably recording in the same room. But yeah, I'd say I'm apprehensive about certain aspects of the story.
Which aspects?
Just lack of definitive clarity, I suppose, with certain things being up in the air. Because I really believe that the story needs to really be tailored to the game, and like everything has to have either a logic or calculated ambiguity where it's mysterious, but it looks decidedly mysterious. Like, you know, there are no real serious accidents in terms of story writing. Nothing like just left. But other things that I'm like, I can't say I hate anything, honestly. Maybe it would just be. I'm still curious to see how the sounds kind of work with the platforms, if that's still a thing. Hopefully that won't be something that gets really irritating. But again, that's not. I'm trying to think of things I feel remotely negative about, and yeah, not too many. Anything that I feel negative about is something that we can solve, which is great. So.
Yeah, that's an advantage of these projects, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. But to move on to the stuff I really do love about this, I love the aesthetic. I love the minimalism and the fact that we are using what skills we have to make something that can be.
I believe it's not meant to be minimalistic, though. The UI would be.
No, that's
right?
what I mean.
The
aesthetic is.
Don't look at me look at the screen. We're pretending to be. Yeah, sorry about that. We're not.
Sorry.
Right,
who are you looking at?
The screen. I'm looking at you. Well, the UI is meant to be, and certain respects to the aesthetic, I believe.
Yeah, certain aspect. I mean, already from the perspective of the fact that they're floating islands and they won't be overstyled, I think that gives it the. A bit of a simplistic look, right? Maybe a bit of a minimalism, because you've got these very clean platforms, and they're connected, and they're connecting the floating islands. We'll see what the platforms look like in the final version. That's going to be really interesting. But we'll see. But I agree. I think minimalism is going to stay as one of the aspects of the game.
That's good. Yeah, because I think we can really play up the whole less is more thing. Yeah. If we play our cards right. So I think having that aesthetic really reinforces that.
I want to push the idea of painted textures, but I don't know if how big of a job that is. Well, is that a big job?
Well, yeah, it depends. it depends on how good the person is making those textures.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
Because I was just going to say that when it comes to texture painting, right? If you wanted to give it a go, I could very quickly model the staff for you to be able to just sort of go into it and see how you'd paint that.
Yeah, I wanna see how good I can do it. Yeah, because I don't know. I'll be honest. I'll be like. Yeah, I look pretty shit, to be honest. We'll pass on.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you were doing the textures, they would definitely have more painterly depth to them. If I were doing them, they definitely feel more minimalistic.
Okay,
that's for sure. Yeah, I would try to find an ideal middle ground between the painted style and something that is minimalism, so that I can save production time and focus on other things as well.
I understand.
Yeah. So it depends. I mean, it's not that there's a good and bad outcome. There's just two different outcomes.
Yeah. Okay. We could see how it goes. Yeah, I don't mind seeing if I can do it, and if it's feasible, painting every single flipping object. I feel that'd be fucking amazing if it's feasible. Like.
If not, you can do like even accents of texture or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there can be some general textures that sort of tile that tile well, and you just put them on the objects. That works. Yeah, definitely.
Imagine the whole thing's ready, and then everyone's like there, like looking at their watches, like fucking hell, why don't you release your game yet, man? And it's like, yeah, we're waiting for this dickhead texture painter, dude. Just taking ages painting every single grass follicle in the map. Man. And I'm like, oh yeah, guys, don't worry, man. I'm nearly finished, man. Just give me 2 more years.
Yeah, it's
Painting
20%
everything.
done, people.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been developing it for a
Wait there.
year. 20% done.
You lot are already on Blind Faith too.
All right. Okay, that does it. That's everything I wanted to get through, and I'm very happy we managed to do that. Thank you very much for joining me.
No worries, it was a pleasure.
It was amazing. It was awesome. It was fun. It
Yeah,
had banter. It was quirky,
it was.
and it was clear.
Yeah, and there were moments of sadness. So we did,
Yes,
yeah,
and
there were moments of sadness. There were moments of
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why is a wizard there for like 100 years by himself, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you very much, and
No worries.
see you next time.
Yes.
See you,
Bye,
Krystof.
Krystof.